Welcome to Unstoppable Female Entrepreneurs, where business expert and success coach Kelsey Matheson teaches you how to massively grow your business, navigate the mind drama that's holding you back, make more money, and acquire the skills and confidence to become unstoppable.
Well, hello. This is Unstoppable Female Entrepreneurs, and this is episode number 18, y'all. So when I launched my podcast, I did it through this amazing program called the Podcast Accelerator. And also the producers that I work with say that number 18 as a new podcaster is a really super important milestone. So here I am. It's number 18. I'm very excited. And I just want to be totally transparent because I'm sitting in my bedroom on a mattress that is on the floor, surrounded by boxes and piles of books and unassembled furniture. And it's chaos in here. And I also am using my AirPods to record this podcast, not my regular microphone because it's packed somewhere. I haven't been able to find it. So I'm hoping that the sound quality is good enough. We're going to just go with the flow because I record and my producers put together this podcast every week. So here I am. We're going to make it happen. And many of you know that my family and I moved to New York 5 years ago. And in that time, we have moved 4 times. So within the last 5 years, we've moved 4 times. And so just this last move was number 4. And every time we've moved, we've purged a lot of stuff, right? It just kind of happens. You're like, oh, I'm going to pack this up. And you're like, do I really want to keep this? And then you purge it. And then we move and then we unpack our stuff and we realize, oh my God, we still have so much stuff. And now there are some logistical reasons for purging. Like the first time we moved from a large house with 4 floors in Toronto to a much smaller house in Brooklyn that had 3 floors. And then from there, we moved to a condo type apartment that had 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. And then from there, we moved to a place that had 2 bedrooms, but only 1 bathroom. And now we've moved into a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom kind of condo style space. So different styles of homes, different configurations, different layouts, different sizes of spaces. And so along the way, we've purchased some things to help us organize or make make the spaces more functional. So we've had to buy pieces of furniture and things like that. And then sometimes we take those items to the next place and they don't really fit into the new space. So we kind of keep accumulating things. And then last year, because we were subletting our friend's place, we were storing all of our stuff. Like everything pretty much that we owned was in storage. So then we were like, okay, well, do we want to pay for this to be stored or do we not? Right? Because we're paying for basically square footage of storage space that we're using. But I'm also talking about like the 8 glasses I bought for my husband, Scott, when I was in Japan, like 17 years ago. We were first dating. I used to work in Japan a lot. And I brought home these, I think there were 8 glasses that were really lovely and cute. And we've kept them. We've kept them for 17 years. And we keep packing them. And then we unpack them. And then we put them in the new cupboard, in the new space. And then maybe we use them once a year, or maybe not at all, really. I'm being really honest. If I'm being totally honest, I don't know if we've used them in years. And then we move again, and we pack them up, and then we unpack them, and then we put them in a new cupboard. And, you can see where this is going. Well, today, as we were unpacking boxes, Scott and I looked at each other and we see these glasses and we're like, let's get rid of them. Right? They're lovely. But wouldn't it be better if someone else was using them and enjoying them rather than these lovely glasses just sitting in our cupboard? I mean, we stored them, like we paid to have them stored for an entire year. And it's interesting because we're unpacking all of the stuff that we haven't seen in a year. And it's like, oh my gosh, why did we pay to have this stored? Anyway, well, we've done so much purging over the last 5 years that I really thought there was nothing else to get rid of, but I was wrong. And here's the thing, there's actually something very different about this purge as well, because the last few times that we were purging stuff, we were getting rid of stuff, I felt like we were doing it because we had to. We were literally downsizing our living space each time. But this new space that we're in now is a little bit larger than the last two places that we lived in. But I now don't feel like I'm forced to purge. I have this strong desire to purge, right? Like every time we're unpacking stuff and my husband and I look at each other and we're like, get rid of it. It feels really good, right? It feels like I get this hit of dopamine and I feel freer. I feel lighter. I feel liberated and excited even. And I know getting rid of stuff that no longer serves you and decluttering and purging things that that aren't in alignment with you or your life anymore is super powerful, from a manifestation perspective. It frees up energy and it frees up space for the things that are more in alignment with who you are and what you want to come into your life. And I also know it's important for your stress levels and anxiety levels to have a clean and organized living and workspace. Being organized saves you time. Having more simplicity in your life allows you to be more productive. So Harvard Business Review says, when our space is a mess, so are we. They say that our physical environments significantly influence our cognition, emotions, and behavior, affecting our decision-making and relationships with others. Cluttered spaces can have negative effects on our stress and anxiety levels, as well as our ability to focus, our eating choices, and even our sleep. Right? That's from Harvard Business Review. And I know all that. I know that intellectually. You know that intellectually. But I think what I realized during this last move is that our purging and downsizing and getting rid of stuff kind of felt forced before, right? It felt like we had to because we were moving into a smaller space. And admittedly, when I look back at that, I think I was bummed. I was bummed about moving into a smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller space, right? I was coming from more of a scarcity mentality, a scarcity mindset. And now I've been working on my mindset around abundance and scarcity and not enoughness for a really long time now. And I think over the last 5 years, because we've gone into smaller and smaller and smaller spaces, it really allowed me to be grateful for everything we have. And because I've been working on my mindset around this topic, just to be happy with everything we have and see it all as perfect. Yes, I have dreams. Yes, I have visions for my future, but also, everything right now is exactly how it's supposed to be, and everything is perfect. And I'm just so grateful for it all. And so it's interesting because I feel such joy and excitement with purging this time, like so much joy. I'm like, what else can we give away? What else can we donate, right? What else can we get rid of? How else can we simplify our space? What can we do to have less? So I want you to think about this as you build your businesses, ladies, because you don't need to be moving, in order to think about this. And, the lovely Marie Kondo, who is also an unstoppable female entrepreneur, she made simplifying a huge trend. So you might want to check out her method of purging and organizing, but I want you to really look around you. Like right now, if you're at home listening to this, or maybe you're in your car, just look around you. And if you're off on a walk or, walking the dog, you can visualize your space. Or you can just think about everything that you own. And I want you to find something that doesn't feel like it's in alignment with who you are. Something that feels like it's just taking up space, but it has no functionality. Do you see something that you haven't used in a very, very, very long time? And maybe the emotional attachment to it feels distant and kind of, maybe no longer important. Or at least the emotional attachment is for the memory, but not really for the item. It's just collecting dust. Are there things in your home that feel heavy and old? I don't necessarily mean heavy in weight. I just mean heavy in energy. Maybe it holds like this dense energy that you really have no need for anymore. And if you're not at home, just picture your home, picture your workspace, picture your closets as you listen to this. Maybe something stuck out in your mind as I was asking these questions. Because here's the thing, having stuff that you don't need, being disorganized, having clutter impacts your brain. It impacts your emotional state, how you work, how productive you are, and your level of happiness. We've all heard that your outer space is a reflection of what's going on internally, right? And even if you have a very well organized space, you have stuff. You have stuff you don't need. I guarantee you do. Stuff you don't need, stuff that's taking up space, stuff that you don't use, stuff that no longer serves you, stuff that holds old, dead energy, stuff that is past its expiry date, so to speak, right? Stuff that you have too much of. Okay, so here's a story. I got rid of 3 wine glasses because 8 of these particular glasses fit beautifully on one shelf in my cupboard. Okay, it's all organized. They're all in a row, like all in rows, and it's lovely. And I had 3 of these glasses left over. So it's an odd number. One of them must have, broken along the way. So instead of putting them on a different shelf or trying to keep them just for the sake of keeping them, because they're perfect wine glasses, why bother giving them away? But instead, I donated them. They're in great condition. So our brains will typically go to, well, why are you getting rid of these? They're yours. They're perfect. They're lovely. They're perfectly fine. Yes, I know they are lovely, but they don't fit into my new kitchen. I don't need them all. I have too many. So I can give these 3 to someone who needs them. Right? So many of us are working from home, and not just because of the pandemic, but because we're running our businesses from home. So look around your workspace. Does it make you feel good? Does it make you feel like $1 million? Or does it make you feel stressed and anxious and overwhelmed and maybe behind? Does it make you feel behind on stuff? Oh, there's all these things I haven't done. Right? I want you to feel unstoppable. I want you to be so super successful. I want all of your dreams to come true, truly, like really. And sometimes these little details can impact your business even more than a great landing page, even more than a solid lead magnet or a solid and successful and a high converting sales funnel, right? I think it's important to keep that in mind. And not only organization of our space, but organization of our time as well. And I think I'll leave time management for another episode, but I think simplifying and organizing our environments and simplifying and organizing our time are intimately connected. So look at your workspace, look at your home. What is causing you anxiety or stress? Are there piles of papers or things that, all you look at it and you just want to run away from it or turn a blind eye to it, right? That right there is the stuff that you need to make time to address, right? Because it's holding you back if you keep avoiding it. It's keeping you stuck if you ignore it. Just as I'm saying this, actually, I'm thinking of a few things on my to-do list that I have been putting off, but I really need to take care of them. I need to address them, right? I need to make time in my schedule to take care of those things. And even more importantly, I need to change the way I think about those things. Because right now I'm thinking, oh, I have more important things to do. I'm thinking, oh, it's just going to be too time consuming, or it's going to be too difficult, or it's annoying. Ugh, it's just not in my wheelhouse. I don't like doing it. It feels like homework. I can easily think of a ton of thoughts that are not helping me get these things checked off my list. And those are the things that we have to focus on, or at least unpack and just analyze. Why am I avoiding them? Why don't I want to look at that pile of papers? Why don't I want to just sit down and dedicate 2 hours to that thing on my to-do list and get it done? What are the thoughts I'm having about it? How is that keeping me stuck? How is that holding me back? Where else is that happening in my life? Right? You've heard how we do one thing is how we do all things. So think about that. And so my question for you today, my friends, is what can I purge that is no longer serving me? I want you to think of all the things that you can get rid of, you can donate, you can recycle, you can pass along to somebody else that is no longer serving you. Or maybe you have some stuff that isn't working, it's just broken and it just needs to go into the garbage. Throw that stuff out. Throw it out. So what can you purge that is not serving you? And this might seem silly in terms of you building your business, but I'm telling you, it's sometimes these little things that will make the biggest impact, that will move the needle. All right, my friends, that's what I have for you today. Wish me luck as I navigate this crazy moving situation and organizing. And yeah, wish me happy purging. I'm going to be doing a lot more purging over the next week for sure. All right. Thank you for listening. Have a fantastic week. And I look forward to speaking with you next time. Ciao for now. Hey, if you'd like a weekly dose of motivation, inspiration, and actionable tips to grow your business while managing all the things, then you need to get on my email list. Just head over to kelseymatheson.com to join my list. And while you're there, check out the awesome free content I give away. If you enjoyed what you heard today, please share with other female entrepreneurs who need some love and support. And of course, if you haven't already, I would be so grateful if you subscribe, rate, and review my show on your favorite podcast player. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to connecting with you next week.